Hi guys, and welcome back to World of Tanks, and it's another subscriber series, and this is the one that should have gone up Thursday, but I was having issues with the internet, well, with my router more specifically, and that's why it's going up tonight instead. Now, it's a 2 replay video, this one, because they are both fairly long. It was going to be 3, but with that one it would have been very, very long. So the third one that's been cut out of this one, I think I might put up on its own one day as a sort of extra video. Now we are with 70 Karma 5, this is on the Xbox, I believe it is, and he's in the Tier 8 French Premium Heavy Tank, the Liberté, or the FCM 50T Liberté. The Liberté comes back into the store every now and again, and in fact it was bundled up when it was France versus China, I think it was, and it was a bit naughty in that bundle, and it's a bit like the Soviet bundle that's in the store at the minute, the Mega Bundle, where basically you got 2 different types of the same tank. You got the FCM 50T and you got the FCM 50T Liberté, and I think there was something else in there as well, and I can't think what it was off the top of my head, but I think it was that one. And there was another tank, and you basically got 2 of the same sort of thing, and I really can't think what it was, but it's a bit like with the Soviet one, like I say. With that one, there are 2 Goriniches in. Well, sorry, there's a KV5 and the KV5 Gorinich, and there's another one as well. Do you know, it's escaped my mind again. But yeah, there's basically 2 of the same tank in there, just with a different skin. Anyway, back to this. And that's basically, I was just making you aware of it, that there are those 2 different, sort of multiple variants of the same tank in there. So yeah, and it is ridiculously expensive. Anyway, back to this. Now, 70 Karma 5, or Karma 5 as I'm going to call him from now, he uses the radar over the minimap, and I have seen other people that do this on YouTube, and a few of you that have sent in replays as well. I have seen it in there as well. There's nothing wrong with that. It works for him, and that's what he does. And he checks the big map on, the big pop-up map with the team lists. Personally, I don't like the radar. I prefer the mini-map. I can see the advantages of the radar. It's certainly closer in. You can see what's around you better and clearer, rather than the. Well, you see, with the mini-map sometimes, when the tanks are close together, they do sort of blur and you have trouble seeing it, whereas with the radar it's a closer in sort of view, so you can see the landscape more. Well, I say that just as he crashes into a rock. That was very good timing. But yeah, so I can see the advantages of both. It's just down to personal preference, really. But he's doing alright over here. Sort of punished that T29. He's about to give the T32 a bit of a dose up his backside. And there we go, damage his engine. The T32 is either not been paying attention to the map, or he basically just was resigned to his fate and decided to get as much damage done before he died as possible. And it's looking pretty good up this end of the map. Both teams have lost quite a few tanks, and the enemy team does have a 2-tank lead at the moment, but the good thing about the Liberté, or one of the good things about it, should I say, is it is very quick, and he can get back across the map very quickly to wherever he's going to be needed. It's a very good support tank, and it does play a lot more like a medium than a heavy. It's got a 90mm, 8 rounds a minute, 212 pen, 240 damage, and as you can see there, he's just put one into that light tank and taken off a decent chunk of health. Manages to get one into the Lycan there, damages his engine, but I think he's probably used a repair kit because he seems to be still moving along at quite a pace. And he's having a damn good match so far. He's moved back up to about D2, I think that is. He's going to try and get a shot on the the KV13 and reset cap, and he did. That was a very good shot. There wasn't much of the tank that he could actually see there. And as you can see, he's using the rock to just give himself enough height to see over the Borsig and get, well, he could see over it anyway, but he couldn't see over it to get down to the KV13. Now that Lycan has just had his engine damaged again. You can see he was moving very slowly there, and Karma 5 manages to get the last shot in on him. Now that KV13 seems to have abandoned capping for now. but he's been detected. There's the other light tank, 1375, on very low health, and he's just ducked down behind there. But that was a nice shot on the move. He was just about to disappear behind the terrain again. And there's a T-34-100 on his right. That's the Czechoslovakian Tier 7. Now, where he is in D2, it's proving quite a good position for him, just on this back slope of the hill. And he's able to use that to pop up and down and put shots in wherever he wants. The 34-100 looks like he's backed off or been killed. And he's just managed to get a hit into the AMX 50-100. Tier 8 heavy with an auto-loader. But yeah, like I was saying before with the Liberté, it does seem to behave more like a heavy medium. There's the T-34-100, just had his ammo rack damaged. Tried to sneak up on 70 Karma 5, who hasn't taken much damage at all in this match, considering how much he's dished out. He's got so far 6 spotting assist damage and 16 penetrating hits, so yeah, doing very well. And he's about to go to town on this Object 416, who gives him his first real bit of damage, really, throughout the whole match. One more was all it would take, and as soon as he's reloaded, that AMX 50-100 is going to be going back to the garage, and it looked like the 50-100 was going through the reload process himself, and it's very long on the French auto-loaders because there are more rounds in the clip than the American ones. And that's the sort of main difference between them, really. Speaking of American auto-loaders, there's a T-69 down there that's popped out to try and get some shots in. Didn't look like he was shooting at 70 Karma 5, it looked like he was shooting at the tank that was there with him. And I nearly lost my voice. But you can see how quick this thing goes along. I mean, he was hitting 50 there before he started coming up over this slope. And where is... There he is, the T-69. Now, they have 4 rounds in the clip, fully upgraded. 5, I think it is, if not. And they do have a shorter reload than the French ones because of that. Now, he's managed to land a hit. 2 hits on 70 Karma 5 as he backs off there. But, unlike 70 Karma 5, he's now got to hide and wait for about 20-25 seconds to reload his entire clip. Oh, the tracks just ate that one. And he just goes straight in for the ram. Even though it behaves like a medium, it's still not. It's still quite a heavy, and quite good for ramming because of that. And it's got about 120mm of armour, I think it is, on the front and on the front of the turret. However, the front of the tank, although sloped, isn't particularly well sloped, so it's not overly effective. But if you know how to use this right, and 70 Karma 5 obviously does from this match, you can angle it properly, come up over hills using the gun depression, and obviously that increases the angle on the front, and you can get your tracks to eat quite a few shots on this. They are very big, solid tracks. Now, he's on 5 kills. There are 2 enemy tanks left. If he can get both of them, that's a Devastator, and if he gets one more, that's a Top Gun secured, and it's a low health 50-100 again. And that 50-100 looks like he's going to be a one-shot. However, he is an auto-loader, so if that didn't happen, he could have finished off Karma 75 before he even 70 Karma 5, sorry, before he'd even reloaded. Now Artie's ranging in there. Nearly got him. Close but no cigar, as they say. And there's Artie. Wait for the aim. Artie rushed his, and 70 Karma 5 got both of the remaining tanks left. And, well, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that was a damn good carry. And, you know, he really kind of did carry that team somewhat. 5,408 damage done. 7 kills, so he got his Devastator and his Top Gun and an ace tanker as well. And I think there was a high caliber in there. But yeah, fantastic match. And very good demonstration of what the FCM50T and the Liberté, you know, according links to the same tank. Yeah, very good sort of demonstration of what it can be capable of. Right, so here's the next replay. This one's been sent in by CheweyBadge, and he's in the Tier 10 Russian medium, the Object 140, and obviously it's Tier 10 game here on Lakeville, and it's a standard battle. And some of you may be thinking when I said about the sort of carry in the last match that a lot of the people on his team, some of them did get some very high damage scores themselves, and they did. You know, I'm not saying it was a bad team, but yeah, he kind of carried it somewhat. Now, back to this one. Now, CheweyBadge, the Object 140, I know bits about it, but I've not got one yet. I'm heading up that way, and you know, I'm sort of umming and ahhing because there's T62A there as well. So yeah, I'm sort of umming and ahhing which one to go for, and from this match, it's kind of making me lean towards this one. It's pushed up the lake road, not too far though. As you can see there, is up to G4, and on this bend, there's sort of well, it's kind of covered from the front. There's, I don't want to say a lay-by, it's the only word that sort of came to mind, but it's not on the edge. I've quite often seen people go up to the bushes just on the right, on the edge of the lake road. It's a spot from there, and I think he's definitely, well, he's got the camo net on there. I'm not sure what other equipment he might have on there, but the view range is good enough from here to be spotting the enemy team that are coming down the side of the lake there and into the town. And yeah, quite often, like I say, see light tanks and fast mediums go to the bushes just on the other side of the road, but quite often they can get spotted, whereas from here it seems that it's far enough away that he can fire and not get spotted in return. And it, like I say, it looks like it's possibly got some sort of maybe coated optics on there. I could be wrong. It might just, you know, might have a really, really good crew. But yeah, it's possibly coated optics. So it'd be interesting to know what equipment you've actually got on this. If you can let me know in the comments. Now, he's managed to spot a few tanks so far. Got some good solid hits into them. That E100's taken quite a bit of damage. And with him being sat to the side here, he's got hard cover in front of him from the terrain, from the bend in the road, from anything, any enemy tanks on the road, as you can see there in D and E4. And if you're in the other bushes on the other side of the road, there's a chance that when you fired, they could possibly spot you. So yeah, this is quite a good location. And I think I might steal it and go here in a couple of tanks and see how it actually goes. Now his platoon mate in the pattern had pushed forward a bit around the bend, and as you could see there, he was getting spotted. He was getting shots coming in sort of from over towards the town. But the E100 is now done. And CheweyBadge pushes down a little bit to try and get shots on that T10. Gets a good hit on it. As does, well, I would imagine from his positioning, probably his platoon mate, sorry. But there's now a T30 coming up that road, and they have a very nasty gun on them. They're very good fun as well. I should know. I like my T30. It's basically a T29 at tier 9 with a massive gun. So yeah, it can be good fun. It can be frustrating at times because you do have the weak ult, but yeah, it can be good fun. Anyway, there's not much more CheweyBadge can do from the middle road there, the sort of one that runs alongside the lake. So he's decided to pull back around because the enemy team have managed to push over the ridge in the middle of the valley around the back on the western side there, and they're now encroaching on CheweyBadge's base, his cap. So he's turned around to come back to try and do something about it, and it looks like he took a hit from the E100 there, but he's going to town on this fatherland. The E100's a trickier target, and with the fatherland on his right, it would be difficult for him to get out and sort of put shots into the E100 where he is, basically, without taking shots from the E100 as well in return, and anything coming through that valley that can see him. Now the fatherland's hanging back a bit, which is understandable. He's taken a bit of a kicking, and there's a full health IS-3 pushing up behind the E100 now. And everybody seems to be pulling back. CheweyBadge has pulled back, the other guys are pulling back and trying to entice that E100 out a bit more. And he was going for the rangefinder there on the side of the turret. Just ricocheted though. And he was trying to get himself in a position where he can get some shots in. It actually looked like he was going to possibly try and shoot from there, because with that ridge that he was sat on, It may have afforded him some cover if he'd pulled back behind it. Maybe enough just to show his turret and bounce a few shots. I'm not too sure. So he's coming right round the back. You can just get around this hump. I'm not sure if you could before the physics update. Maybe get so far around it, but he's used it to get around here in cover, and he can now get shots into the E75 up on the hill. And he's going for the lower plate. And just going for that again. That will bounce though. The E75 is a very tough tank, but like nearly every tank in the game, the lower glacis is a weak spot, and the E75 again relies on angling, and it looked like he was pretty much sat face on. Now, it looks like the E75 has managed to get down to the valley, out of sort of view, and there's a Doom Turtle coming round, the T95. The poor guy has probably been just driving since the match started, and has just got to there now, and he's probably getting very excited, because it's more than likely that he's just seen his first enemy tank of the game. They are incredibly slow, and taking one through that valley with all that swampy ground must be horrible. I'm not sure I'd have possibly done the same thing because of it just being so ridiculously slow. Now, it's starting to look a bit hairy up here. They do have a 2-tank lead still. Oh no, there is another heavy up here backing them up. I thought he was done. Nope, there he is. There's a heavy, couple of tank destroyers. It's not too bad. As these guys come out of here, they're going to start taking some hits, and he's going for the tracking shot on the T95. And now he's going to pull alongside him, try and track him again, and try and get alongside him. Although no, he's going to go and deal with the IS-3 because he doesn't want that guy in his flank when he's trying to deal with the Doom Turtle. The Doom Turtle can't turn and start putting shots in at him because obviously the tank destroyers and the heavy will start shooting into his side. Now it looks like his signal's dropping a bit there. You can see up at the top it's going a bit jerky as he's brawling with this IS-3, and well, like a lot of the Soviet tanks, the Object 140 does have a very good solid turret, so it is quite good at this up close brawling. Well, I would imagine it is, and like I say, from what I've seen, it does seem to be. And I'm looking forward to getting it. I probably would have had it by now, but I've changed my mind about the direction through that line several times. Now the IS-3's done, the Doom Turtle's still there, and what's that down in there? Oh, the E-75, he's made his way round. That one just hit the barrel of that wreck, that was unfortunate. So it goes for the commander's hatch. No, he's not, sorry, he's going for the top of the turret there. Having the higher ground, it looks like the E-75's got a slightly weak turret top, possibly. It was very well angled, so I don't know if he was overmatching it there, possibly. That's something I might have to look into now. Anyway, the other heavies that were up here, they're all dealt with and gone, so now it's just a case of keeping the T95 tracked and putting shots into his side, and he's just been set on fire. That's him done. T95, T28, etc. Very tough tanks from the front, but that is their weakness. Obviously, getting tracked, anything gets alongside you, you are pretty much done if they've got the rate of fire to keep you tracked. And another tactic I've seen for dealing with fixed TDs is to basically get behind them and just drive straight up to the back of them and just keep pushing forwards and just keep pushing them from behind, firing into them, and there's not much they can do about it. And now, well, it's a very healthy lead of 5 tanks. There's only 2 left on the enemy team. They are platooned together, and if they've been platooning together for a while, they could work very well as a team. There's one of them, Object 140, very low health though. And it's going to be a case of getting down here and trying to mop these guys up, and everybody on the team is now heading this way. There's his platoon mate in the Leopard 1. Not much armour on the Leopard 1, but it's I think it's got quite a decent gun though. Again, I've not had it yet. I'm going down it, down that line on the Xbox, and oh, it just popped out a bit too far from the Leopard's wreckage, and the enemy Object 140 finished him off. So yeah, that was unfortunate just at the end there. He was very close to surviving that match, and that was quite amusing. The T10 just crushed the Object 140 to death. So yeah, that was quite a nice way to finish the video. But there you go, CheweyBadge in the Object 140. A very nice game, and is not running a premium account, but just over 8,100 damage done, 1,700 blocked, an ace tanker, and a nice other collection of medals, and a top gun to go with it as well. So yeah, another great game there. So thank you for sending that one in. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's video. I shall be back tomorrow, yes, Mother's Day, with another video for you. So until then, take care out there, and I'll catch you next time. See you later.